Hey guys, what's up? It's Jory Gaming here, and today I'm gonna be bringing you guys a brand new CS:GO commentary. And today, guys, we are gonna be talking about the Mlg Columbus 2016 CS:GO tournament, which was quite amazing, if I do say. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna be talking about how each team did, what are some upset surprises, what were some like major upsets to the winner, which I'm not gonna spoil, but you guys will have to wait for that. Unless you guys already know, then it's just there's no point. But anyways, guys, let's get right into it. Day one. Now, day one had 16 teams. You had the top 8, I think, from IEM Katowice 2016 that were already qualified into the next major, which was MLG. So you had 8 other teams that had to qualify, and just to name off some, actually in the Group A you had NiP, Flipside, LG, and Mouse. Group B you had FaZe, Liquid, Fnatic, and Splice, which is kind of it's really easy. I think you would know who won that group, but just wait. Now, Group C, you had Envious, CLG, Australis, and Gambit. Now, this was probably one of the harder ones to get out of. But in Group D, you had Navi, C9, VP, and G2, which is actually, I think, was harder than Group C. Australis, not Australis. Australis, I would have to say, was going to dominate Group C, as well as Envy, with CLG gonna take up the rear, but Gambit, I have no clue who they are. I had no like foundation upon them. But anyways, guys, day one had some pretty exciting matches, and most of the matches were matches that teams that you would think would win. Now, starting with Group A, you had NiP versus Flip with first overtime 19-17 NiP, LG Mouse 16-13 LG. FaZe, Liquid 11-16 Liquid. You had Fnatic and Splice 16-5, which is kind of, that was kind of already determined. Then you have Envious versus CLG. Now, this one's a big upset. The Envious lost to CLG on Cobble, which, Envious isn't very fond of that. But if you guys have seen, like, some CSGO highlights, they have more highlights on that map than anything. But, it's just super hard for them to play that map. They're not very, like, skilled on that map. Cobble is just not their map. But anyways, guys, CLG beat them 16-8. And then on to Australis versus Gambit Gaming. You had 16-10, which is kind of a little closer than I would have thought. But then, now on to Group D. You had Navi versus C9. Now, you would think that the Navis would win C9, which they did, but it wasn't like too close, but it was yet enough to scare them, because during the match it was really close, and then Navi started to pull away with a 16-9 win. And then VP versus G2 on Train. Now, they absolutely destroyed destroyed them on this map 16-1. Now, personally, I thought this match was gonna be over. Like, it was 8-0, and then G2 won their first map, or first point, I should say, and it was all over from there. But anyways, guys, another upset was NiP almost losing to Flipside, the worst in ELS in North America. I think they might have moved up like 2 spots, but they're terrible. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought they were gonna win that match, but then NiP just pulled out something out of her butt or something out of their hat, and they won. So yeah, day one went with no flukes other than Envious losing. Now on to day two, we have the opposite team. So you know how Envious played CLG and Australis played Gambit. Now it's gonna be Envious versus Gambit and Australis versus CLG. So it's just day 2 of the groups, and that was just an example. But you have NiP versus LG 16-5 LG, and then this one was insane. You had Flipside. Did I say Flipside versus LG? I think I said NiP versus LG. Yeah, so NiP versus LG 16-5. in LG's favor. Then on to Mouse and Flip side. Now this one is a record-breaking just game. They went to fifth overtime. It was insane. It was 28-31 Mouse, and the last round was insane. Chris J with 12 health only needed to get dinked once. He goes through double doors on a site, or on Cobble Fountain, I should say, because I don't know what site that is. I don't play Cobble that much. But he goes in. He has I think he had an M4 or an M4 silencer, one of the two, and he sprays down the guy planting the bomb. No, he didn't get the bomb plant, but he was planting it, and he shot him and he killed him. Then he goes in for a guy coming out of rock, and then goes for the guy coming out of drop. And that was just insane. And he stood in one spot, killing all three of them. It was the best play in MLG group stage, I should say, like ever. It was, oh my gosh. But anyways, guys, you had Mouse winning that one 31-28 in fifth overtime. Now on to Group B, you had FaZe versus Splice, which was an easy one. FaZe won 16-3. Now this one's another one that was kind of unprecedented. You had Liquid versus Fnatic, and most of you guys would think Fnatic would win very seamlessly, but it was 22-19 in second overtime, Liquid's favor. And Liquid just pulled something out of their hat. Hiko must have pulled like VAC bands or something. I didn't watch that match personally, but that was kind of cool to hear that Liquid beat Fnatic and dropped them down to the loser bracket with FaZe. But you know, anyways, that was a pretty good match. Now on to Envious versus Gambit Gaming. You had Gambit Gaming beat Envious, taking them out of that group stage. Couldn't get out for some reason. They were struggling. They were really struggling in that match. I watched that one, and they just fell apart once like Gambit started getting momentum in eco. It was just terrible. But on to the second match of Group C. You had COG versus Astralis, 9-16 Astralis. Now Group D, this one was just a blowout. This one went very, it went very fast, because all you had to do was win this one game, and it was 3-9 G2 versus C9. C9 versus G2, 3-16 G2's favorite. Very easy match. Now on to Navi versus VP. This match went easy as well. It was 16-4 Navi's way, and it was just really easy for G2 and Navi. And I personally think that Group D was going to be the hardest one to get out of, but C9 gets kicked out. So does Envious, so does Splice, and so does Flipside, all losing 2 matches. And now on to day 3, you have well, actually you have let me just recap the group winners. So Group A, you have LG. B, you have Liquid. C, you have Astralis. And then D, you have Navi, which those are some pretty good teams that you think that were going to win like their groups. And it was just weird. But now day 3, this was the losers day. So all the winners, LG, Liquid, so on and so forth, they all got a day off. Now they can go practice in their practice rooms and stuff. And day 3 was the losers day. So the teams that I said, like Flipside, all them, they were all out. So now it's the other 2 teams besides the winners that are going to play each other. So you have Mouse versus Nip. Winner plays LG. Now this one went 2-1 Nip's favor. It was a best of 3, and that one kind of, most of these matches went best of 3, where it went 1-2, but it was just, I don't know what happened that match. It was, Mouse was gaining momentum in the I forget the map, but they were gaining momentum, and then they just kind of crumbled that middle match. But then on to FaZe and Fnatic. This one was easy. Fnatic wins 2-0, plays Liquid for the elimination. And then GG, or Gambit, playing CLG, gonna play Astralis. CLG does win with a 2-1 best of 3. And then G2 versus VP, gonna play Navi, 2-1 VP's favor. That was a very easy day. There's nothing remotely going to come into play with that, but you know, on to day 4, you have the winners of all the loser day and the winners of the group. So first of all, in Group A, you had Navi versus Nip, 2-0. That one I think could have went longer, or maybe went to a 2-1. But for sure, Nip had very high scores. So these games were very long. They took like 5 hours to play, because it was like 14-16, like all those scores, like the really high scores. It was like, I think it might have been 14-16, 13-16, and Navi won both of them. Now, this one's a shell shock. This one is just amazing. You have Fnatic versus Astralis. 0-2 Astralis. Fnatic didn't even win a single game. They went 5-16. No, they went 10-16, 5-16. They just got demolished by Astralis's power, the TSM power. And oh my gosh, it was just an amazing match that to hear. I didn't get to physically watch it, but that one I heard during school, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Astralis, boys, you guys are gonna win. I figured if most people thought it was gonna be a lose-lose situation. I mean, well, like if Fnatic lost, it was just over. Like, I felt that even if Fnatic won, Astralis would still be that, like, the Fnatic. So, like, what I'm basically getting at is if Fnatic won, Astralis would feel like Fnatic does now. Like, it would just be heartbreaking, because Astralis is such a good team. Just like LG. Like, if they lost to VP, which they didn't, which we'll get onto here in a second, it would just be shell shocking, like I said. Just be heartbreaking. Now on to Liquid and CLG. Liquid does beat CLG 2-0. And that one, these were very close matches, just like I said, with the Navi versus Nip. They were very long, time-consuming maps to play. And obviously, Liquid does prevail with a 2-0 best of 3. Now, VP versus LG, you have VP winning the first map, and then LG bringing it back with a 2-1 run on the last 2 maps. Now, I really got to say, this was another upset. Like, LG losing the first map in OT to VP, who hasn't really shown, like, who's boss. And then you have Liquid still destroying. They already beat Fnatic, I think. I think they should have. Yes, they should have, because CLG was in Astralis, but yeah, okay. I don't think I got that wrong. I think it's, let me actually look at that, because they shouldn't be playing. Yeah, so you got to switch up the team. So Navi played Nip, VP played Astralis. Yeah, Fnatic played CLG. No, Fnatic played Astralis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so on and so forth. Liquid played CLG. Yeah, so you don't play people in your groups necessarily. So those were, like, Liquid, I feel like they were just going to go on and win the whole thing. But unfortunately they didn't, which we'll get on here in a second. But one other thing, Fnatic doesn't even make it to the Final Four. And I think I've already made my point on it. If Astralis, like, if they lost, they'd feel like Fnatic does now. Now, it's not that big of a shell shock if Astralis would have lost, but it's definitely a shell shock that Fnatic lost. So now, guys, we're on to the Final Four. Now, this one is just game breaking. Now, these matches, this Liquid versus LG, these matches were in Liquid's favor, and this just frustrates me because I had to go look up the score, and I was just like, oh my gosh, 20th round, second map, Liquid's favor versus LG. You have a 15-16, like 21st round, and it's just like, what in the world are you doing, Liquid? You had to win one round, and it would have been all over. Oh, it was so painful to watch. But anyways, guys, let me tell you something about this Liquid versus LG. I thought Liquid was going to go on to the grand final. They should have, but they didn't. Now, it was a 15-9 game 1 on Mirage, and that one a little close. LG can come back from that one, which they did. They won in OT, I believe. Don't remember the score, but I know they won in OT. And then second map was just crushing. Liquid thought they had it, and they're like, oh, we can screw around some of these maps. But no, LG still prevails with a 15-6 on, I think this one was Cash. This one was Cash. Now, it's literally frustrating me that how you lose when you're up 15-6. It doesn't make any sense. Like, Liquid, get your stuff together. Like, Simple was destroying for you. All you guys had to do was just do it. Like, Shia LaBeouf, just do it. And apparently they couldn't do that. Now, this one, Navi not getting most of the surprise, well, not getting the credit that they should have during the group stages and all that. I thought they had a pretty hard group to make it out of, especially with VP, but no, they destroyed VP, they destroyed G2. Now, people didn't think they were going to do too good against Astralis, but apparently they did. They went 16-14 the first map, and then just crushed the former group TSM with a 16-5 on the second map. And that just, it baffles me. It's what? Like, 16-14, I thought this next map would be really close, but no, it's not. It's 16-5, the next map, and it's Navi's way going into the grand finals. So now, on to the grand finals, day 6, April 3rd, we have LG versus Navi. Now, if you guys don't know, this is a rematch from the IM Katowice 2016 major, and this one's just it's so funny. It's so funny because just listen, okay? So day 6 grand finals, April 3rd. Now the match started at 10:30 in the morning my time. So since they're in Columbus, Ohio, I think that's 3 hours ahead. So that would be 1:30 their time, which isn't too late. But both these teams being in different time zones, it's gonna be hard. But after a couple days, you kind of develop the time zone. So other than that, guys, we play the first map, and I don't remember what. I think it was Mirage. It was Mirage. It was. I remember that. Now, Navi has. It's almost like it was going to be a Liquid versus LG again. Navi being up like I don't know how many points. They were just up. And then LG comes back to win it in OT 17-19 on Mirage, and it sounded like an eternity, and it looked like an eternity when I was watching it. I was like, oh my gosh, LG, you can come back, you can do it. But no, they took it very slow. They ran each map down to the last second, and then the final shot was, I forget who it was, but it was Fur that got the last kill. And it was like, oh my god, Edward has to go in for like Fallen or something, or Cold Zera. I don't know, but he's looking 2 areas. He knows where they are, but he has to kill one of them in hopes that the other one doesn't peek. But of course that does happen. Being LG, they're really good. They get the 17-19 win on there, and it was just amazing. Fur gets the peek once he kills the other guy. Or Fallen, whoever it was. But Edward does go down. After getting an amazing clutch, he gets a 3v1 while the bomb was not planted. It's amazing. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, guys. But this one, it's just literally, LG crushes their dream on Overpass. Now, this wasn't like the triple overtime that we had during the IEM Katowice event, but we do have, just like we thought, a Splice versus anybody game. Like, nobody thought Splice was going to do good this like, in the group stages or even in the tournament itself. But neither did, like, anyone. Well, neither... never mind. Splice is out of the picture. But they literally crushed their dreams with a 2-16 victory on Overpass. Just another casual day for LG. Just practice. It seems like if they were playing C9, you know, NA aim. North America, you guys need to step up because South America is leading the charge now. LG is just destroying everyone. They only lost one map, which was to Virtus Pro, and Navi did not lose a single map, which is kind of amazing. But, you know, well, leading up to the event, I should say, because they did lose these last 2 matches. So, you know, LG just destroys Navi in the second map, and Mlg Columbus 2016 is a wrap, and now it's on to, I think, the DreamHack in Austin, Texas. So we'll make sure to have that CSGO commentary next time. And hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to go hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure to share this video on Facebook. Send it SMS message, Facebook Messenger, Twitter Messenger. Share it on Twitter. Do all the stuff that you want to do with it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'm Jory Gaming here, and I'll see you guys in the next CSGO commentary. Peace out, guys. Take care. Goodbye. Freaking 2-16. The last match. It was just the triple boosts. Both teams. None of them happened. So bad. I'm out.